Welcome to the Ms Francois Show. Oh, because I was quarantined, you think I want to look amazing? I look amazing even if it's quarantine. This is the Ms. This is the Ms Francois Show home edition. I look fat. Oh, look. Definitely look amazing. I don't know why Ms Hattie already checking herself out. She's supposed to be checking me out. But in any case, the Ms Francois Show is a relationship-focused talk show with a comedic twist. What we do, we use laughter and humor to help you deal with your dysfunctional relationships. So with that said, I want to introduce the guest of the evening. She's a sex and dating coach, a writer, a media personality. Some call her Tinder grandma. Some people say she's a world oldest cougar. Some people, I know you might call her, I don't know, but she's suspect, okay? But you can learn a lot of things from the sexiest grandma alive. Hi, Ms Hattie.
Hi.
You like that? You like that introduction?
I think you pretty much covered all the
Awesome. I'm the kind of person that could get into the questions immediately. So the first question I want to ask you, tell everyone how old you're going to be on May 25th.
I'm going to be 84.
84!
No surgery on this face.
See, that was actually one of the questions, because I was like, do you try to make sure the titties stay up? You have any Botox, any tips and nucks, tucking anything?
The titties stay up if they get proper attention.
Awesome. I'll remember that, okay? So one of the things, well, you're known basically worldwide for as Tinder grandma. A lot of people know you as. And with that said, how did you even become so famous? Like what it is? So because a lot of people still don't know you. So introduce yourself. Why did you even become Tinder grandma?
Well, it all started, I'm a therapist, and I was doing a session with one of my patients, and suddenly out of the blue, she said, Dolce Gabbana wants a sexy older woman in a bathing suit. So Hattie, go for the go-see, go, they'll take you. So I go in a bathing suit, and they take me, and we go out to a beach. It's a real beach, it's not Photoshop. And the photographer, Stephen Klein, he's Madonna's photographer. He's a really well-known guy. And he has an eye for sex and beauty and whatever. And he says to me, hey, you, sit there. And then he says to this young buff guy who's, I don't know, 22 and really built. And he says to him, Stephen says, sit next to Hattie, hold her hand, and look at her like you're falling in love. So we got up to the actor, 22, and I'm like 4 times a day. And about 2 months later, I was an extra, so I didn't think anything special was going to happen. 2 months later, I get a call from a friend. Hattie, go out and buy Vogue magazine. I said, Vogue? You're in Vogue magazine. So I saw the magazine, and oh boy, he's looking at me and a gold bathing suit, and the networks picked up on this. And they said, this woman deserves a documentary. We got to make a documentary of this cougar. And I never used the word.
That is a crazy story. See how you never know, one day can change your entire life.
And honey, I was in my 70s at that time. So that's the last thing you would think of, being a sexual role model in your 70s, right?
Yes, exactly. And how did you even come up to the whole point of you even dating younger? So that is how the whole thing came up. But did you, from that time, is it when you started dating younger men, or have you always dated younger men?
Always. Now, it's interesting. When I was on Dr. Phil, and that was recently, he asked me what started me with young men. And I didn't really think about it. I just knew that was all I was attracted to and all that turned me on. And then I realized that when I fell in love with my former husband, he was a young man and sexy. So it was like I was going to repeat what already worked for me. And I didn't factor that you're married 25 years, you have children. No, I didn't think of that. I just remembered the heat, and I wanted it again.
Oh, so it's the heat, the excitement, the young.
And the love. Oh. Now, one thing that the cougars might have to accept, I wish it were different, But the men, they love, can I use the F word?
Well, let's say the F word.
They feel wonderful about making love with you. That covers the F word. But they may not love you. They may love interaction. They may love what pleasure, giving you pleasure, receiving pleasure. But to be in love is a much larger reality. And I was not granted so far the privilege of having sex plus love. So I had sex plus lust, sex plus pleasure, sex but learning a lot. But love, the real love, haven't gotten it again.
Okay, and since your first marriage, because you were married for what, over 25 years?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I fell in love a few times since then.
Right. But it just never went the way of marriage. Is even marriage something you still like considering for the future?
Yeah, I love being married. And I'm really pretty straightforward about that. That's the only way you get a live man in your bed every night. And you don't have to keep shopping.
I know, I heard you describe Tinder like shopping, because I wanted to know of all the apps, because they have so much online dating apps, how you arrived at Tinder at being one of the best ones for you.
You asked such perfect questions. So I was doing a music video, and there were two women in it. They were younger than I, but they were mature women, and they started to talk about how they found their life mate on Tinder. So I said, I thought it was just a hookup site. They said, no, there are men there that want a life mate. So I decided to go on. Well, I didn't get what they got, but boy, did I get very low. It was like a bargain basement sale.
It was like Christmas.
You could just pick right off the rack. For those who are shopping, now you know what I mean. Really nice merchandise.
Oh my God. But have you tried like different apps?
No. When I decided, look, I'm tired of all this random dating of you. Let me try an older guy, and you get a better chance on match.
Right.
So they put my age there. They wrote 73 instead of 83. And the men that showed up were all close to 70. So I quit within the first 3 days so I could get my money back.
You're like, no.
I know. But the interesting thing is, people have accused me of being ageist. So the point is, if I were attracted to an older man, I don't particularly have a prejudice against older men.
Right.
Only that I don't get turned on.
But what it is that you don't get turned on about is the wee might not look nice and smooth. What are trying to be, politically, their penises.
Yeah.
It's not as strong. It doesn't stand up as strong.
The penises have not stood up to the test of time.
But then someone could say the same thing, that the vagina is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, or it's too big, or it's too stretched out, or what, so just like they say the penis, the vagina has something too.
Now, there's really something interesting. A young guy doesn't care. If it's there and you say yes, they go for it. Like I said, there isn't a penis with a high IQ. It doesn't happen that way. And the penis is not a photographer. It's not taking pictures of you, mental or otherwise. If it stands up, it goes in. And that's basically what they think of.
If it stand up, it goes in. I'm going to write that down.
If you're hot enough to make them hard, they're not thinking age. They're not thinking stretch marks. No. The penis is not thinking altogether. But if it were thinking, it would say, where is it? Where is it? I want it.
Because you know what it is too? Like sites like Tinder. I would be like, a lot of times when people talk about themselves on sites, when you go out on these dates, do the men actually look like what they claim to look like? Because I've done a lot of online dating, and sometimes they might say on the site that they're a certain height or a certain weight, and then you meet them and it's not that.
Did you have that experience?
I have had that experience where they don't look as appetizing as they were on the thing, but most of the time yours is fine.
What age were you looking at, my dear?
Well, I look between, I check she counseling me right now, right? I'm not paying for this, Ms Hattie. This is free. So I'm 41. I try not to make sure I'm not lying. I can't remember. So I'm looking, and I tend to look between like 33 and 48. So I try to give myself a gap.
You know, that's a good stretch, so to speak. Because at 48, the men are still hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It starts leaving kind of its late 60s. That's when it starts leaving.
Oh, okay. You specialize in that.
No, I leaving that. I specialize in that.
So most of the time when you meet these guys, they are who they say they are. When the people
had it different.
And when you go on these meetings, do you go with someone? Because are you scared?
Never.
Really?
Never. And see, the thing is, I know what I'm going to do. I tell them, I will meet you in a public place.
Mm-hmm.
Because of quarantine. And either you want a drink or coffee. And then I say, we'll talk a while. And if I'm attracted to you, by the way, I hold the power. I say that if I'm attracted to you, I'll take you up to my apartment. And if I'm not, I'll very graciously be happy that we met.
Well,
they think that I'm going to be just like them. That, oh yeah, yes, I'm going to get it. Oh, they have to really appeal to me. They have to smell good and have a certain style about them that turns me on. So an older woman, and this old, the one who chooses, not the man. And a lot of older women don't have this kind of confidence. I want them to have it. The man wants you very, very much. He may not want you for his life, but he wants you for that evening. So don't make a production out of it. Enjoy the evening. If you get another, fine. If you don't, there's nothing wrong. You got what you wanted. You wanted more. He didn't. Well, take what you can get and then move on to the next.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a small break. Okay?
Yeah.
I already love Ms Hattie. Okay? I'm going to take her home. That's my new, well, I ain't want to call her grandma. That's my auntie. Okay? So we'll be right back after this short break.
Oh, sweetie. Okay, you know what? Let's take off his sweatshirt. Get rid of pictures of him. You don't have to look at him. Goodbye, Dave.
Mom, you don't understand. He's tagged in like 400 of my posts.
I can cut out tags.
No, that's not how it works.
What is a tag?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love to share their first with you.
Okay, welcome back. Now, if you didn't catch the first half, why the hell you wasn't watching the Ms Francois Show? Something's obviously wrong with you. So, today's guest that I have on the show, she been seen on Access Hollywood. She been on Dr. Phil. She been on Steve Harvey, Rupaul, and a long list of others. But now she's on the Ms Francois Show, so now she's on the best show. Okay, that's Ms Hattie. Say hi, Ms Hattie.
It's fantastic.
As you can see, she's looking amazing, constantly checking out herself. She ain't seeing no one else. She's not even seeing me. She's just seeing herself.
Seeing you. And she's enjoying what she's seeing.
Thank you. So with that said, I just want to get back into some of the questions because we've been talking sex. We've been talking about older men. I mean, Hattie been giving us some good tips, women out there. Basically, if you're going on a date, the man have a one-track mind. So you got to make up your mind because you hold the power. And I think we women forget that a lot.
Yeah, we do.
Right? So with so many dates you go on average, how many dates you go on in like a week? Well, that's before the pandemic. Because now you...
On Tinder, I was going on 3 or 4 a week because things were flowing in. This one. And then the last thing they started to do was guys in their 20s. And they would come through as 105. And then you would see their picture and you knew they were in their 20s.
Wow.
But they wanted to get through my filter. It said 55 up.
Right.
So the last thing that was happening, because Tinder writes my age, 83, it's right there.
Right. So,
and the young guys, they don't care about numbers.
So when you say the young guys don't care about numbers, I'm thinking when they like you or they're attracted to you, do you think maybe they have mommy issues or what? Why do you think they're attracted to you?
People ask me that question, the same question. And I said, what do I care? Let them have great grandmother issues. Like, I don't care.
and people are thinking, okay, so say for instance you go on 3 dates in a particular week and you are attracted to them, you like them or whatever, so that's three different penises that week. God,
yeah.
Oh, you're keeping up. I get tired after 1.
6 balls, 3 penises. Now that we're counting. Yeah.
But how do you have such a high sex drive? Women, sometimes by the time they're in their 50s, they don't even want to be touched, but you're going to be 84. How do you keep up?
Well, this is something that most people have not explored, and there's a good reason. There's something called bioidentical hormones. Have you ever heard of them?
No, but now I have.
All the women have. And it's not taught in medical school. No gynecologists know about it. Most doctors never heard of it. And gynecologists give estrogen and progesterone. That you could get cancer from that and only take it a small amount of time. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to have sexuality for my entire life because I adore orgasms.
Good to know.
Like, big surprise. I thought everybody has orgasms all the time. It has a lot to do with your own body and how free you are, and how you masturbate, or if you feel good about your body, or if you like the sensations. A lot of women, they don't feel about their parts the way a man does. Mm-hmm. They don't say, I'm masturbating. They don't say that. They say, I'm going to go pleasure myself. And they pleasure themselves from when they're little boys. There aren't a lot of young girls that play with themselves. Maybe it's shame. I don't know. It's deeper inside boys. They circle jerk. Every boy knows every other boy is playing with himself. Then when they get hormones, they squirt. I mean, it's like, well, it's like a wonderful, better than a video game. But girls,
right?
You have to, daughters have to be taught by the mother. Sex is the best thing. It's a lot of fun. Then you have to teach about safety, and then you have to protect yourself, and then don't sleep with anybody you're not attracted to, no matter what they say. Don't do it. Don't say yes. You know when you want to say yes. So girls get scared because, the penis is like a weapon.
Right. Yeah. A big weapon.
A big weapon.
So you're saying it's good that women should master. So one of the issues is because we say pleasure ourselves than masturbate, it matters the words we use when we're doing it. So if I decide to say, I should say, I'm going to masturbate, that makes a difference, or?
Anything.
Oh.
You like vagina?
Yeah.
Doesn't that really turn you on? Oh, vagina. What a hot word that is. Pussy, twat, honeypot. Say something that it sounds appealing.
You know what I wondered? Like when people even see you on the streets, do they like shout out to you, and what do they call you like when they see you on the streets? I'm just curious. When they call you?
Hattie, and they hug me and they kiss me and I love you. You're my You're my role model. You're my queen. You know, and I love that. And then what happens is somebody will see me, and then they'll say to somebody else, you know, I saw this woman, and my nurse said, yeah, no. She comes to our office, get a picture. They get, no way, they get so excited. I mean, I'm not like Jane Fonda, but people, when they see a hot woman who's out there in the world and telling them, claim it. Because for years I too, of another era, I was self-conscious, and maybe he won't like me, or maybe my tits are this or that. No. The man will be eager to have sex. He almost doesn't care who the woman is. But if you want a man for your life, then you have to show him your kindness. You have to let your caring quality show. In addition to the eroticism, to always show, you know, compliment them. Men like compliments. Women do, but men do too. And you can say things like, your smile is so sweet. I look at you and I don't know. That's how I want to.
So how do you feel like when Steve Harvey has the in his book, like you should at least wait 3 months, like the 90-day rule? How do you feel about rules and stuff like that? There should be no rule.
Well, that was the old way of doing it. That was when they gave all the power to the men, and the only power a woman had was the power of no. Woman has the power of yes. And then she can simply know that if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. And then she knows there's another man that she can be with. You have to date more like a guy. It's changed.
Okay, so just keep dating until you find the one that you want. And again, I guess ask the right questions, or
other, and then make sure that you compliment him so he's happy to be with you. Be interested in his work and his family. See him as a whole human being rather than just a dick. Then he'll see you as a whole human being rather than a giant pussy.
I'm a pussy. Well, I always say in different countries or Caribbean country, they call vagina pony. Some people say coochie, sometimes selfish. There's so many different ways for it. What they call it.
So in the Caribbean, women are much more responsive. They're screaming, they're yelling. Believe me, I work in the Caribbean. You know, white women or upper class women or whatever, I sometimes say, you know, a PhD never made a dick hard.
You should have just a book. I know you wrote 2 books, which we will get into, but it's amazing. You could have like a book by itself with just sayings, or Ms Hattie sayings, because you always have these
Attitudes.
yes,
That would be good.
yeah. See, don't say that's 10%, 10%, right?
No, you get me the publisher, I'll give you more than 10%.
Okay, I'm writing that. This is on film. Okay, this is being recorded.
You get the publisher, and I'll give you 20% of the advance. Okay?
I'm gonna start looking, Ms Hattie.
Attitudes, and there'll be pictures.
Yeah.
And then each attitude will make up a question. Then I'll answer the question. I don't have to write a whole book.
Very true.
And the questions could come from your listeners.
Right. So you're so intelligent. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I love you. I loved you before, but I loved you even more now.
Keep having sex. Your brain is, you know what I'm saying? Your brain's out. No. Well, then you get a whole new set of brains.
Yeah. Oh, God. So describe to me one of your worst dates that you ever had. Do you had any worst dates? I'm sure you have.
I was in love with this rock musician, and he went back to his girlfriend who was on tour.
Mm-hmm.
And she came back from the tour, and he went back with her, and he said it isn't as good, but she's younger, and he decided to be with her. So there was an ad, and those days it was in the Village Voice. We didn't have online dating. So there was this guy, and he wrote long-haired guitarist. So I figured, oh, good, I can replace the other guy with another long-haired guitarist. So I go to his apartment, and he has a collection of swords on the wall.
Oh.
So right away I decide, what can I say that will distract him from sex, because I'm not going to have sex with this guy who collects swords. And also, the hair was a wig. So right away,
Shut up. The hair was a wig.
yeah, so it was nothing like the man I was in love with. But I have learned, and this is very important, under no circumstance do you insult a man. Don't do it. Don't say anything to him that can be negative.
Okay.
You may be upset if he doesn't desire you, or even if he says something negative to you, don't do it.
Okay.
Only say nice things.
But even if he said something to you, you still say nice things?
Like what?
I don't like he calls you out of your name, or you feel disrespected by certain things he might have said.
Well, the cursing's not part of our
Okay.
community. You know,
Okay.
I don't go into it. I answer it in a way that has fineness to it.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of married couples, pretty soon after the initial love, they start bragging and being nasty to each other. And they simply say, oh, well, at the moment we're not getting along, but we have love and we're lucky. And, you know, let's just go to sleep, we'll have breakfast or a drink, and our love comes back. But if you start being negative and nasty and mean and insulting, you get scarred. Don't scar anybody.
Okay. I remember that.
It doesn't hurt you to compliment a guy. Believe me, they need it.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Hattie. Thank you again, Ms Hattie, for coming on the Ms Francois Show. Don't forget to check out Ms Hattie. Follow her on Instagram, Hattitudes1. That's H in front of attitudes and a 1 at the end. If you can't spell, you should be ashamed of yourself. If all else fails, read at the bottom. You can read, right? Beside that, she has a website. You can check out her website. It's retroagehattitudes with a S.com. Again, I'm going to put all that at the bottom, but I like to say because I know some of my viewers. So again, Hattitudes with a 1 at the end. Make sure you follow for advice. She has books. But what's the name of your books? I believe you have 2 books, Ms Hattie.
Retro Age. They're at Amazon. RETROAGE. 4 Steps to a Younger You.
Oh,
That's Amazon. And the other is called Sex and the Single Senior.
Sex and the Single Senior.
Yeah, and that's really a memoir. Doesn't have that much sex in it, but it does give you a sense of how I lived my life.
Awesome. So definitely check that out. Check that out, and don't forget. Go ahead, Ms Hattie.
Both on Amazon. The point is that you know that you don't cheat and you don't lie. If you know that, then your sex is always better, because real good sex is truthful. It's wild. It's real. It screams. It's laughter. Once you know that you lied to this one or lied to that one, it doesn't flow that way. You want the beauty of truth to give you orgasms. Because there's nothing true in that at all.
So you see how much information she's giving. So definitely go and follow Ms Hattie and check out her website, check out her books. And don't forget to follow me. That's at MssFrancois.com. Everything is Ms Francois. MSS Francois. Multi-talented and super sexy. Never disappoints.
Absolutely.
Bye, y'all.